What ba? Well, maybe to look for the root cause of the disease. That's really what I'm trying to show people, that we're getting sick not because of a deficiency in medications. We're getting sick because our genes are now being switched on and off by the environments that we live in. And if you get a practitioner, a doctor who knows how to look at you that way, it's not a 15-minute consult, it's a 2-hour consult, you're best friends at the end of the consult, then he starts navigating you better throughout health. Well, whatever your illness is, whether it's cancer, hypertension, diabetes, yes, maybe sometimes these things cannot be cured, but at least you have someone that can navigate you through. It's not just, here's the medicine and we're done. That's what's happening now. We have to now create partnerships with our doctor. There's a doctor-patient partnership wherein I commit to you for 40 years. We are a long-term relationship in the making. That way, if you get sick at age 30 or 50 or 60, I know what shifted. And maybe we'll get you back to what was not there before. So you become disease-free for 30 or 40 years. Maybe that's the...
You were mentioning about like how our choice of food affects our overall health, and you were saying, I heard you say something like about like if you're this age, you're gonna just be like functionally younger because of your choices of...
Oh yeah. Well, what we're finding out now is age and all of that stuff. Diseases, for example, are really controlled by the environments that we live in, and about 40-50% of that is really the nutrition that we have. So if you just start shifting nutrition to whole foods unprocessed, you start changing the expression of your genes. If, for example, you had a gene that says you should have hypertension now, you can turn it off through the food that you're eating. But it's not just food. There's the 8 roots of the tree, I mentioned it. There's food, we'll start with, there's stress you're managing, sleep you're getting, movement you're doing, food you're taking, relationships you have, previous trauma, chronic infections, and lastly, toxin exposure. So these 8 we take care of, or if you look for it, you take care of your exposures to these things, then you don't get sick for 40 years. Your genes start shutting down. They start protecting you rather than giving you illness at the end of the day.
What trauma? Like a medical trauma?
Opo, previous trauma. Like, we found that, for example, if you had a head injury, your stomach bacteria are not as complete. So you don't process food as well as other people. Previous trauma, surgeries are also.
So these are all physical traumas, not other kinds of trauma.
Well, emotional and mental trauma, of course, also.
Also affect your health.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
If you have a patient who's an abuse patient, psychologically she's gonna be kind of different. So now you have to manage her different. But it's not a medication. What medicine is doing now is, you have a psychological trauma. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of counseling, but then maybe you're a deficient person in this medication or in this thing. It's not that. Not that. You have to ask why. Why are you sick? What's happening?
So your approach would be how? How would you approach that kind of situation?
Well, you have to ask why. So you have to get the patient. You have to do a really good conversation consultation, 2-3 hours worth of history. We do it differently in my practice, functional medicine. We take you, we map out your entire life from birth to now, even before birth, even how your mom had you, how your mom. Then we try to see when you got sick. When you got sick, what were the things you were doing when you got sick? What are the possible triggers? Then what are you doing on a day-to-day basis that keep you sick?
And as far as nutrition is concerned, how would you like encapsulate it in like a few sentences?
Whole foods unprocessed.
So for those who are illiterate about that, can you...
Whole foods unprocessed or lutong bahay. No processed food, no food packaging in the food. From scratch. Simplest.
Traceable food, like you know that is chicken, this is vegetable.
You bought the chicken.
From
You
there.
bought the carrots, you bought the
Yes.
lettuce, the celery.
Why?
Because we found out that the more you process food, the more the nutrients are removed. Now, to compensate for or even the taste starts going away. To compensate for that, the food industry injects additives, preservatives, or food coloring, or quote-unquote nutrients that aren't really nutritious, we're finding out. So, that now becomes a toxic burden to the body. Remove the toxic burden, we have enough toxins to deal with. We're breathing air from Metro Manila. We're exposed to heavy metals, etc.
Yes. Can you quickly tell me a little bit about yourself? Like somebody who doesn't know you and then they want to know, who's this doctor? Can you tell me a little bit about your background?
I'm Dr. Raymond Escalona. I graduated in Ateneo School, the school here. I practice functional medicine, and I started this as an advocacy. Maybe that's not the best. It's very non-traditional. My God, I've been called albularious na before. But yeah, because I think that we have to address chronic disease differently. We're all getting sick, we're all dying. So we have to shift the thought process. I'm not saying it's incorrect, I'm just saying maybe it's kind of incomplete the way we're doing it now. So the past 2 years I've been engrossing myself in functional medicine, lifestyle medicine. And this is what it is. I found it like we have to look for the root cause of illness. So apparently this practice has been around in the US for about 40 years. But in the country, there are only about 15 of us who do it. So, and we're in Metro Manila. So we're trying to get people to buy into this kind of system.
When you say 15, do you work together with the 15?
We're a network.
Oh, you're a network.
I mean, I have my own clinic, but the others have their own clinics also. But we cross-refer. Kasi konti lang.
Yes. And what got you interested into this?
I love treating chronic disease. I'm a public health guy, to be honest. I've been about 10 years in the public health sphere, 2 years in DOH, other 8 years NGOs, different areas of the country. Then lots of people were just getting sick, and my family has a lot of hypertension, diabetes. My lolo died early from heart attack and stroke. My dad's best friend died from cancer. My best friend's dad died from cancer. So we have to fight. We have to get this solved, or else nothing will happen.
So your approach is not really like, would you come to me? I give you a prescription and then I'm done with you.
No,
But
no,
really-
no, completely not. If you come to me, because we're going to do a 2.5-hour consult. I'm going to know, you're gonna answer an 18-page questionnaire. I'm going to know your life from start to finish, everything about you. Then we navigate you. I can give medications to control things. I'm a licensed physician, but then the root cause and the root answer to things is not medications.
What is it?
It's shifting your life. The food you're eating, stress you're managing, the movement you're doing, the relationships you have, sleep you're getting.
So you mean to say you'll have a say in like the relationship that a person has?
If a person has a toxic relationship, I ask him to get counseling.
Oh, I see.
If a person doesn't have any involvement in any social activities, has no purpose in their life, we look for purpose.
Oh, even that.
That's part of the whole thing.
Yes.
I am not just your doctor, I'm your best friend at the end of the whole
Oh,
thing.
really? Wow, you have
Because-
so many best friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, because why you're saying?
Because your health is intimately tied to everything about you. It's not just body. It's your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your body. So we have to get all of those in line for you to get better.
Is it very expensive to go to a doctor like you?
I charge by the hour. Honestly, no. Well, me, I don't charge. I don't charge a lot.
That's a lot to you.
I charge 1.5 an hour.
Oh,
So I don't think that's expensive. I don't.
okay. And then is there like some kind of hindrance because it's a bit more probing than the normal medical exam? So is it a problem to get the answers that you want?
No, I let my patient tell their story. But I always tell them I'm only as good as your story. My analysis of you, the science that I know of your body, how they're all biochemically tied, is only as good as your story. So if you leave out certain points, I'm not gonna be treating you, and that's what you get. I mean, I'm so transparent. It's a very transparent practice. That's the thing where I'm finding out actually. It's very transparent.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.